Okay, so this is showing what the person on the backend for aiholo will do. In other words, the person that's running the compute instance. So I will send the IP and the password for this, but basically you'll log on to the machine. And what you are doing is actually logging in. See if you can see here. There are some odd aspects to this. So even though Windows has settings to tell it to not shut down applications when you log off, that actually does not work for certain applications, such as Twitch. And so to get around that, the workaround I use is to actually come into a separate machine, which I call Windows Basic. And then that Windows Basic does a remote desktop connection to the actual machine, which is this IP here for Mumbai. So I'm actually, I'm on my laptop here. I'm logging into one cloud machine, which is logging into another cloud machine, so that when I log off this machine, Twitch can continue to run. And like I say, I've tried every setting for that, and I don't know any other way to get around that. So that's one thing. Next, looking at the compute instance here, we have a few key apps. So we have, I'm running it in IntelliJ. This is the actual web app, and it's running in this first tab here. And then in the second tab, I have the authentication command, which I'll talk about in a minute. So this is the Java app that is, the web app that you use for the aiholo. The other thing that is running is NVIDIA Audio to Face. This is the thing that is taking sound, the speech answers, converting it to animation, and sending it over to Unreal, which is the next app. This is the app that has the actual avatar going on. And then the only other real thing that's going on here is this OBS server. And the only thing this is actually used for is for flipping the image so that you get the actual mirror me. Otherwise, it'd be opposite directions, okay? So when you come on here, unless something has gone wrong and they've shut down, the only kind of continual maintenance that needs to be done is refreshing this token. So let's start with that. So what happens here, I'm trying to figure this out because this token should last for 14 days, but it only ever seems to last for maybe a day. Even with I have a ping of activity, it seemed to only still last for a day. So as it stands, we need to refresh this token daily. And you do that by coming in here and issuing this gcloud command. And so you'll come in here. This is the command. It's in the history, so you can just pop up and run it. You run that command. And then another odd thing with the cloud instances is that now that we are passwordless, we can't go on there using the password, in other words, to make this authentication call to Google Cloud to get the token. All right. So we can't use that browser because you can't use any of the passwordless token methods on the Windows compute instances because they are things like, fingerprint, where you can't do a fingerprint through, through a compute instance, your finger's not, or cell phone, and that cell phone facial recognition or any of those techniques you try and use, they won't work on a compute instance. You got to have a local computer. The only thing you can do is a bypass code. So every time, every time you want to refresh this token every day, you could use a bypass token, which means you got to sign on to another machine, go get a bypass token, come back here. So what I do, as weird as it is I copy this URL and I bring it over to my machine. So this works. And then load it and go through the authentication here. This is my Google account, where you can go ahead and authorize it. And then when you do, you'll get this localhost URL, copy this, and come back to your compute instance, paste it into the browser, and now you have the token. Okay, and then you'll see in the browser here, okay, it says, that your token's refreshed, and you'll restart the Java application. You have to restart the application to get the new token. It won't pick it up, from runtime. So I just do Control C and then pop up to the last command, which is this run aiholo PowerShell. And this is what it looks like. It's just setting a couple of URLs. So all it's doing is setting the sandbox URL. That's where the requests go. And then setting this aiholo. And then this is where the audio directory path. That's where all the audio files are put when they're generated, right? And then it just builds it again and then runs it. But that's all in this shortcut. So all you have to do is run aiholo that's in this directory here. So then the app is ready to go. And like I say, that's usually the only maintenance you need to do. What can happen though is if the MetaHuman is getting stuck, so the commands are going through but it's getting stuck, that means you need to shut down both Audio to Face and Unreal. That's always been the case for me, is you have to shut down both and just restart them. So you would go in here, shut this down, don't save, and then you can just shut this down or stop it, and then shut down Unreal. Okay. And then start the two back up. So these are the two shortcuts. There's also a NVIDIA shortcut on the taskbar here. So go ahead and double click the Unreal project, double click the Omniverse. Okay. So the Omniverse, once in a while, you need to log into this again. If so, the Omniverse accounts are free. So if you just get your own Omniverse account, that will work. Otherwise, I guess this is cached in this browser. You could use mine, but this is not often necessary. This may be maybe less than a month, but every few weeks. So that shouldn't be often, but that's good that comes up, because you should be able to just get your own, real quick Omniverse account. And, you'll be set with that. So that's that. You double click it. You may need to do that login. You may not. Usually you won't. And then just hit launch. This is Audio to Face under library. That should be the default screen that comes up. And then just hit launch for that. Usually I do these at the same time. Let me just do one at a time, so it's not, quite as confusing. We'll do all the Audio to Face stuff first. And these take a little while to start, particularly the Unreal takes maybe 3 or 4 minutes to start. Okay, so once this starts, you come in here and you scroll down and double click on this Claire Solved AR Kit. And then over here, there's the Audio to Face option. So expand that and select the Stream Live. and then select this activate, and that's it. Okay, so you open it up, open ClearSolve Kit, audio to face, stream live, click activate, and this is good to go. If you want, you can go over to this audio to face tab and hit play, just to run it. You can see the audio is going there, but that's it. That's good to go. So let's minimize this. When you come over to Unreal, the live link window will be open. If not, this is under Windows, Virtual Production, Live Link. And you have to add audio to face as a source. So you'll do add source, then do Omniverse Live Link, and then just do OK. And you can do this before or after you open the level. Okay, so I've done it before. Then we will go over here and do File, Recent Levels, or Open Level. But Recent Level and the Mirror Me level is the one you want. The Mirror Me level. So click on that, and like I say, this takes a little while to open up. Maybe 3 or 4 minutes. If the whole machine has gone down, you'll do the same thing. Hit the same 2 shortcuts to open Omniverse, Audio to Face, and Unreal. But you'll also open IntelliJ, and you'll also open this OBS. So if the whole machine crashes, and that's maybe only happened once in the whole last year, again, those are the 4 things. IntelliJ, so you would, there's a shortcut there, but you could also type in IntelliJ here to open it. Then there's OSB, there's a shortcut here, or OBS rather. You would open that. And then in IntelliJ, you would go to you would just click this. You would open the project. It should have the original project. Otherwise, do recent projects. It's not showing the project that's open because it's open already. But the project is called this path here. Sustainable Dev is the GitHub project. This is the one you'll open, and this Java program is in the Interactive AI Holograms folder under Java version. So what you would just do, I'll just show you here real quick, I'll start the app again, is go and CD into this directory and run aiholo. And then this cloud you can run from, or this gcloud command you can run from anywhere. So you can just do a plus, open another console like I have here to run this. Okay. I just mentioned all that since we're waiting for Unreal to start. You shouldn't need to do that. At most, you'll need to, again, all you should really need to do is refresh that token and restart the Java app. The rest of this is if something happened and either the machine went down, which is very, very rarely, or if the avatar freezes. And that happens maybe 1 out of 8 events or something like that. Maybe 1 out of 10 maybe, where the avatar will freeze and you have to restart Omniverse and Unreal. So when Unreal starts, these errors you can excuse. This is nothing. So you just click to exit out of this. And then that's it. You should be able to start this app. Now, I may as well also go through the setup of Live Link, because now we have audio to face, and that's for when people ask questions, right? That mode. Again, the Java app takes the sound, converts it to text. Text is sent to the backend, that URL I showed. Then it's converted, the answer comes back, the text answer from the vector search and all that is converted to speech. And that speech is sent to this audio to face. And then that audio to face sends it over to Unreal to talk. Now the other mode is the Mirror Me mode. And that's activated by having the person at the event load the LiveLink app onto their phone. And there's another video and stuff explaining this. Load it onto their phone, and then they will, in the settings area, they will just put in this IP. There's a setting to make sure that there's neck movement, which makes it look better. Those are the only two settings. So under that LiveLink streaming setting, not the OCS server, there's the other setting. It has LiveLink. So they install on the iPhone, they install the LiveLink app, they go into settings, they turn on the neck movement, and they add this IP under the LiveLink settings as a target. The name of it is target. Once they do that and they turn the app on and they see their mesh from their face in the LiveLink iPhone app, you will come over to the server here, and as you see, I just slid this over, the sidebar here, which is usually hidden. I slide it over, and under this MetaHumans folder, you'll see all the MetaHumans. And under each MetaHuman, there is this LiveLink ARKit face subject. Now, if their iPhone is called, if the what they've named their iPhone in the LiveLink app is the default, which will be iPhone, then it should be already set. And when you click on this, you will see iPhone here. I don't have a phone connected, so this is a good example of, if you don't see it, that means they're not connecting. And that's because either one, they don't have internet, and that's been pretty common actually, because, if they're at conferences and events, the Wi-Fi may not be set up, or you may forget that, the phone has to connect to the internet to hit the server. It's not connecting to the local laptop. That phone is sending signals to the compute server here. So if you don't see it here, it's not connecting. But if they have this default iPhone setting and you see it here, then you're good to go. If they called it something other than iPhone, you'll need to go through each of these MetaHumans and select iPhone on here. Or you'll have to select whatever they named it. So it'll come up and you'll see, iPhone for London or something like that. Then you'll have to select all these. If they use the default, you don't have to bother. Now, when you go through and select all these, make sure you do not select the two that say audio to face at the end. So you'll go through, change it here, change the face subject here, change it here. Again, if they've used a non-default value. Do not change the audio to face, the two audio to face ones, especially this one. Lexi is the one that's active right now that we're using. So that's everything for setting up LiveLink, which is the Mirror Me feature. Okay. So you have two sources is what's going on here. You have your audio to face for the questions, as I say, and then your LiveLink app on the phone, which is doing the Mirror Me. So we'll go ahead and start this. And okay, yeah, here's a thing here. This error is actually not really a problem, but to get rid of it, because it may be, it probably will be in the way. This is a weird thing, but everybody knows, that uses Unreal knows. You go into this console command here and you type r.streaming pool, or streaming dot pool size, space 8000 and then hit enter. And you'll get rid of that message, okay? So now this is running. I usually just go over and test the app. You could also go over here and hit play just to test it locally. See, and we see that it's working, right? We have that link, and then you can also see in live link here that you have the audio to face is happening. So that's it. Then, you go over to your app. I guess I may as well do that here. Interesting. Seems to be an issue. Did I? Oh, okay. I did not start it. So that's one thing. If you see that error, it means that this is not running. That's something else that's probably not bad to know. Okay, so it doesn't take too long to start up. Then we come over to our app, do the login. And then give it a test. Again, this is in another video, but I may as well restate it here. This works like a CB or like WeChat. First of all, you select one of these. This goes to the public internet LLM. This one goes to the database to show off, the vector searches and all that in the Oracle database. And when you click on the microphone here, you click it and hold the mouse down, then speak your question, and then release the mouse, and the question will be sent to the back end. Okay. So let's go ahead and click. And okay, for the you may have to allow the mic. And then if you want, you can clear this, right? So let's try that again. What is the latest version of the Oracle database? Okay. And so you can see this on the back end in the console. What's asked, the reply, the fact that it's being sent. Oh, and then I forgot to add the Twitch page rather. You can see the answer over here. Okay, we missed it because I was too slow, but it's working. And then of course we also have the explain button. Click that and it'll do the explainer.
Esta exhibición de hologramas interactivos de IA utiliza servicios de IA de Oracle, como Speech AI, Oracle Database Select AI, y las funciones de búsqueda vectorial.
And then when we want to switch back to the mirror mode, if we're using that, we click this mirror mode button.
Es completamente de código abierto y está disponible para que la pruebe. Gracias por visitarla.
Okay. Okay, I can see it's happening. Like I say, you can see it in the back end here. I didn't click it all the way last time or something. Okay, back to mirror mode. So let me put it back to question mode just to do that. So let's see here. What video games were developed by Paul Parkinson?
One sec. Paul Parkinson developed the retro-styled game Pods of Khan, showcased at KubeCon 2023. It's open source.
Okay, and now the most critical piece, actually, I should have started with, but I'll end with, is the fact that you are not going to use Twitch at the events because you see the delay with Twitch. We want it to be faster, and we want something that'll work with Mirror Me, and Twitch has a delay no matter what you do. So I tried all these different streaming platforms and ended up with Zoom actually being the best. And so what you will do is the person at the event will start the Zoom on their laptop, since that's what's going to be used and shared on the fan. They're going to share this on the fan. So they will contact you and send you the Zoom link. And the reason it's better to do it that way is, well, a few reasons. But one of them is that you need a professional Zoom account to get the higher video and audio quality. And so if you're using your Oracle account, once again, you're going to run into the passwordless aspect if you try and start a Zoom meeting on the compute instance. And, so if you don't have a professional account other than your Oracle account, you're going to need that password. So that's one reason it's much easier. And, another one's just, you may need to use that account during the day or whatever. So whoever's at the event will send you the Zoom link. You will join it. And then let me just start a meeting here. So let's pretend they started one. And what you will do when you join it is share. Okay, I'm not sure why this is spinning, but let's see here. Yeah, I don't know why Zoom is being so slow. This never happens. I think this is due to the fact that indeed this is not a professional account I'm using here, and it's okay. Yeah, it's just slow for some reason. So what you will do, and you don't need to worry about this, just X out. You'll go to advanced because you're going to share a portion of the screen. So you're going to share a portion of the screen, and you're going to share the sound and optimize for video sharing. And then go ahead and share. And it's going to give you a box. Let me move this over. Yeah, as you can see, you can move this box around or whatever, but that's generally where I have this OBS server that is showing the Unreal Engine. And so you just move this, resize it and move it to put it on the avatars you will. I think there's no way to get rid of this Zoom thing here. If you find a way, let me know. That would be great. If you find a way to do that, that would be great. If you find a way to do the Google authentication, both on the compute instance without using the bypass code, and also if it can last for 14 days. So those would all be great to know, but I don't see any way to get rid of this annotation thing. So that's not a big deal, but you get the idea. And the last thing I'll comment is just on OBS, which I haven't talked about as much. If this happens to crash, this is all set up and ready to go, even if you restart Unreal or whatever it is. But if this crashes, just start it up again, and it should be using this window capture 3. I should delete these other ones. But even if this isn't working quite right, you can just do, as you can see with this window capture 3, all it's doing is sharing the Unreal Engine. So the window it's sharing is Unreal Engine. The capture method is Windows 10. Let me move this so it's a little clearer. These settings are important, actually. They're easy but important. So the window you want is Unreal. The capture method is Windows 10, and the rest doesn't matter. And then, worst case scenario, this thing's totally gone. Just create another, and then just add a window capture with those same settings. Okay. And that's about it. I mean, I did a lot of rambling and went through a lot of stuff, but that's because I think that's just about every aspect I can think of. You know, on a normal day, all you're going to do is come in. For the app, you're going to refresh the token, like I mentioned. Stop the app, refresh the token here. You're going to take the URL it gives you and put it on your local machine. That's going to give you the URL to put back on this compute machine so that it authenticates and gives you this. Then you go over and restart the app, and then the app is working again. And then you just join the Zoom call that someone at the event started. Share your screen just using the portion of the screen and making sure you enable that sound. And that's it. If the avatar freezes, restart Omniverse Audio to Face and Unreal, as I showed you. And if for some reason the entire machine went down, then yeah, you have to start the Java app, the Omniverse Audio to Face, Unreal, and the OBS server. The other, real quick on this OBS server, one little thing I forgot to mention is you will be doing a transform. Yeah, here it is, transform, and then flipping it horizontal just to give the mirroring effect. Okay, that's the only other setting on that. So I think I bounced around a little bit, but I think I covered everything that you need to know.